What are you worth? Nobody's going to really come up on the street and ask you that. The truth of the matter is most people are far more willing to tell others about their sexual life than their actual financial assets. Think about it. Think about how few people you know that you actually know all their possessions and all their money. But nonetheless, we think about what we're worth. And if you're the sort of person who tracks your investments on a daily basis and you know your real estate and your check and your holdings in the bank account, chances are you could off the top of your head more or less say what your financial assets are, how much you're worth. If you're not that sort of person who checks things out so carefully, so an hour's investigation and you could more or less come up with a rough estimate. Far fewer, though, are the people who, when they hear that question raised, think, that's a stupid and insulting question. Where do you come off equating what one's worth with one's financial holdings? My father, Shlomo Telushkin, alav shalom, worked in the 1930s for Rabbi Meir Berlin, who headed the religious Zionists, Mizrahi. Berlin learned English as an adult, and many times when somebody learns a language as a second language, they have trouble incorporating the new idioms. It's hard to learn them. I remember somebody once said to me, how am I ever going to learn to speak English properly when I find out that fat chance and slim chance mean the same thing? So Rabbi Berlin was puzzled by an idiom that he heard Americans use, and it eventually came to infuriate him, and that was the expression, so-and-so is worth. When he heard it said of a certain man, and this was during the Depression, when people were far poorer, so-and-so is worth $300,000, he didn't think much of the man, so he said, yes, that's what he's worth, not 1 penny more. The real question of worth, though, is, what are we worth to the people around us? What is our value as a human being? If we continue to associate worth only with money, we're setting ourselves up for misery. If you hear somebody say, I'm worth $10 million, what happens to that person when his investments collapse? And he's then worth $2 million? And then if he loses everything, what is he worth? Nothing? Our value is ultimately derived from the fact that we are created in God's image. We are holy people, and all of us are holy. And our worth to others is going to derive from how we act. We've had no shortage of children who come from very wealthy parents who end up writing memoirs or speaking of their parents in the angriest manner. And there are no shortage of people who grew up with poor parents who were given to them the most precious gift parents can give to children. And guess what? It's not money, it's love.